Celestia, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan, a medically qualified doctor and a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. My Fempire is a skincare brand called Skincare by Dr. V. I myself got melasma in my late 20s. This was very early hyperpigmentation. And what I realized was, having done medical school, was that there were no treatments formulated for pigmentation for skin of color. And actually a lot of the treatments that were formulated for pigmentation were made for Caucasian skin that could actually burn my skin and lead to more hyperpigmentation. And fortunately, I actually had access to a laboratory, a cosmetic formulator, and I learned how to formulate for hyperpigmentation for my own skin. I then realized I'm not the only one in the world with this problem. Actually, this is our #1 skincare concern. And that is where my love of formulating for skin of color came from. I would say it's been challenging. We all went through COVID together, and actually at the time I had a chain of clinics called the Hyperpigmentation Clinic, and we had to shut them all down. They were very successful and it really was heartbreaking. And I had to learn how to teach online, how to become an online influencer. I'm quite old, I'm in my 40s, and I didn't grow up with Facebook even. So I really had to learn from scratch. So I had to become an influencer online, and then I started to formulate globally for my skin of color family. And actually became very successful, but actually it could have failed. So it has had its challenges, it's been up and down, but overall I'm so grateful for where we are now. The big one was definitely during COVID, but actually one beautiful thing that happened was that gaining an online following, we're now at almost 3.5 million followers, meant that anytime I uploaded a question, I would get thousands of responses, which would tell me what to make and what not to make. What color should packaging be? What should we call the product? What percentage actives would you like? So really, it took almost a risk out of formulating, and it made my life so much easier. My support system, I think #1 is my husband. My husband is incredible. You'll never see him on social media because he's very shy. He doesn't even have a social media account. And then it would be my dad. My dad is amazing. He's one of these genius men who just remembers everything. And then it's my mom, who is phenomenal. She's the first ever female entrepreneur I have seen growing up, and that's why it became really easy for me to do business, because I've already seen my mom do it. I think for me it's ingredients first and science first, meaning I went through years of trial and error for formulations for skin of color to see what percentage ingredients were good for us, what could we combine and what should we not combine. And because I did that research, which took years, because the research just hadn't been done, there was no published data on it. Even now, if I ask you to go and look for what percentage vitamin A cream should be worn on skin of color, you're not going to find much information on it. And because I did years of research before, it makes my life so much easier now when it comes to formulations. So I think that's really what sets me apart. My message to female entrepreneurs is that there's no lower age limit to starting business. It's not like, oh, I need to become 18, or I need to go to business school, or I need to have X, Y, and Z before I start my business. This tends to be something that stops women from starting businesses. I would say the second you have an idea, start. And I would say this, so this is a reason with my daughter, when she was 8 years old, we created a eczema balm for my son. And my daughter said, why don't we create this for other children? And I said, it doesn't really fit with my brand, to be honest, because I basically help older women and men. And she said, no, that's not fair that we only help Josh, we should help all the children. I said, let's do it under your name. You can manufacture it, I will fund it, you can market it, and this is your product to sell. And we called it Sienna's Calm Balm. And it sold out. It was a fantastic product. The reviews are amazing. The before and afters of kids' eczema clearing up was amazing. And the reason I did it was not for any financial gain. It was to show her she had an idea, there was a gap in the market, how to market it, how to manufacture it, and how to go to production. And so that in the future, next time she has an idea, she's gone through it before, and you think, oh, that's what I need to do. Not, oh, I need to wait until I become a doctor before I go and create X, Y, and Z. So that is my biggest lesson, I would say, is have an idea, see where the gaps in the market are, and start. Just start. Even if you fail, you can keep tweaking until you get it right. I would say skincare has changed drastically in the last 4 years. See, if you entered the skincare market 4 years ago, there were huge gaps in the market, because actually it was just the staple skincare that was on the shelves. People weren't that educated in skincare. Once COVID hit, there was a big surge in wanting to know about it, and so brands started to develop. Now at this point, I would say we are quite brand heavy. And if you wanted to create something, you really need to find a niche that nobody else is looking at, and you need to disrupt the market. My future goals are to ensure I create every single product that we need, that our Skin of Color family needs, that doesn't already exist. See, if the product already exists and is good enough, I don't need to recreate it. It's a huge waste of my time, money, and effort. And I will just tell you, go and buy X, Y, and Z, and that's what my whole YouTube channel is about. But I do want to make sure that I fill all the gaps for the products that don't exist that we need. I love the ethos of Celestia magazine. For me, I'm such a champion of entrepreneurs, but specifically female entrepreneurs and kids who want to go and do business too. So for me, this is such a huge honor, and I will continue to work to help other women succeed in business.